right, this is Saddleborn Podcast. I am Sadie Schick.
I'm Michelle Filippini.
Chantel Carter.
And today we are going to be interviewing Jennifer Whiteley. And
Hi.
And so, Jennifer, we really just want to talk to you because I know that you're a very interesting person. You're raised up Mountain City.
Mm-hmm.
You have been ranching your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
I know you taught for a long time. I know you write. I know you do your cinches. You do photography. So let's get started with your childhood. What was it like growing up there?
Well, I have a brother and a sister, and for a long time, living in Mountain City, it was a very small, very tight community. And so my brother and my sister were, like my best friends, and, like they were the only people that I knew. And so we did everything together. And growing up on a ranch, all of my time was spent with my mom and my dad, my brother and my sister doing ranch things. We did a lot of horseback riding and taking care of cows and putting up hay and doing all of that. I went to school in Whiteley through the 8th grade, and then I came into Elko for high school, where I lived with my aunt and uncle. And then from there I went to college. So,
mm-hmm. Where did you go to college at?
I started at CSI in Twin Falls. I really didn't want to go to college, but my mom and dad are like, you have to go to college. So I thought, well, if I have to go to college, I want to go somewhere close to home. And Twin Falls was exactly 2 hours and 15 minutes away. So
you could get home fast.
Yeah, exactly. And I did. I was home every single weekend. I went to Twin Falls. I was at CSI for 3 years. I didn't get a degree there. I was short by 1 PE credit. I started to take a skiing class, and then some big celebrity crashed into a tree and died. And I was like, no, I'm not skiing.
Yeah.
No, skiing is not for me. And so I was at CSI for 3 years, and then I transferred to Montana State University, where I got a Bachelor of Science in Agriculture Education. And then I came back to Hawaii and taught high school for 2 years.
Cool. And
decided that all 5'4" of me with blonde hair and blue eyes was not cut out to teach 6'4", 19-year-old boys how to weld.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But then also I fell in love and decided to marry a cowboy and moved to cow camp instead. So
I want to hear about cow camp.
Oh gosh.
So I want to hear all the details.
Oh yeah. Cow camp was an experience, and I absolutely loved it. We lived in a camper 9 months of the year until the guy with the family got a different job, and then we got to live in the actual houses at camp. So we had no, when we were in the campers, we had no running water, no electricity. It was pretty rough.
You were really in love.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, when we got onto Merritt Mountain, because we worked for Simplot, so we traveled with the cows. So we cabbed them out in Grandview. So we got to live in Grandview for, 3 months of the year. And then we just started following the cows. The cows spent the winter on the 71 Desert, which is between Twin Falls and Bruno. And then when they got done there, they kicked them across the Bruno Canyon to the JP Point, which is kind of near Grassmere. And so we would move to Sheep Creek, which is near Grassmere. And so we would live there. And then once we got everything branded, the 4th of July, they moved to Merritt Mountain. And one half went towards McDonald Creek, which, ironically enough, is the original B-Rock homestead in Nevada, which is where my great-grandpa was raised. And then the other half went to headquarters, which is like Sage Hen Basin on Merritt Mountain. And then we would move to there. And, or if we had a family to stay there in the house, Travis and I would go to Allegheny Creek, and that's where we would live in a camper. And that's 8 miles from my mom and dad. So I would always tease Travis when he was at cow camp, when he got to the highway, if he would have just hung a left, he would have come to my house and meet me. Mm-hmm. But instead, he would always hang a right and go to the barn in Mountain City.
Yeah.
So if he would have hung a left, you guys would have running water.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we'd have been a lot sooner. Right? Yeah. But, yeah. And so we did that for, it was 2 years, because Trent was born the end of June, and then that following October we moved to Lamoille.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, it was wonderful. I mean, I was horseback every day. We got up bright and early in the morning. We went and caught our horses, and we would trot 20 miles to the end of the JP Point, gather cows, bring them up to brand. And then once we got everything branded, they went onto the mountain, which was all Forest Service. And then we spent all summer keeping cows off the riparian and we roped a lot. And,
Oh, how fun.
Yeah.
So when you married Travis, you knew you were signing up for cow camp.
yes.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Yeah. In fact, and it, you know, it was my poor mom and dad. It made them absolutely crazy because when I was teaching in Hawaii, I was a mile and a half from my mom and dad. So even though I had my own house, I was still living at home. And so, you know, every day after school, I was going up to mom and dad's and I was riding my Colt, or, you know, and weekends I was right there to help my mom and dad. And then I met this poor broke cowboy. Didn't even have a nice pickup. And we were...
Love is love.
Right? And I would spend every weekend with him. I was at cow camp when he was at cow camp. And then in the winter, I was with him in Grandview calving out cows and doing whatever. And Dad lost his help. So, yeah.
His best cowgirl.
I know, he did, you know, because my brother and sister were both still in school, you know, and so, yeah, he lost the only help, you know, that he had besides the hired guy. And, you know, and hired guys are not always the best help horseback because sometimes you just take what you can get, you know, and at least I knew how he wanted things done. And here I am off chasing broke cowboys. So.
But the love of your life.
Well, that's exactly
So
it.
how long have you guys been married for?
August makes 20 years.
20 years.
So sweet.
Yeah.
I know, I
So
love it.
cool.
Yeah. Yep. And it, you know, it's not always been easy, but it's worth it. So,
Worth it. Yes.
yep. So, yeah. Then we moved to Lamoille, and Trent was this big. I remember because he was just teeny tiny. He was such a small baby. And yeah, we moved to
Goes by
Lamoille.
so fast.
Yeah, I look at him and he's bigger than me now. And
You probably look at Sadie with her little boys and you're like, it goes by fast.
Yeah.
Don't blink.
yeah,
Yeah.
Don't blink because next thing you know, you've got a senior graduating from high school.
Uh-huh.
And you
Looking at
think,
colleges.
right?
So you've been in Lamoille for 19 years.
Well,
19, 20?
18 years
18?
in October, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and you think, we haven't been here this long. Because like, when we moved here, we were going to, 4 or 5 years, get
Now
some money
it's
put
home.
away and we'll find another job. And yeah, now we've got too many kids and dogs and horses and cows to ever leave.
Yeah.
So,
But beautiful horses.
oh, thank you.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Tell us about your breeding program.
So we never intended to have a stud horse and breed mares. I always thought, I would have a mare or two that I could breed, that we would just be able to raise a colt or two a year just to keep us in horses. And my poor husband. So we'd gone to the Van Orman horse sale every single year. It's just kind of a family tradition for my dad and my mom and brother and sister and I. It's just, the thing that we do.
I love it.
And I am the kind of person that I like horses better than people some days. And I just love looking at horses. And when I have like my Instagram, my Facebook, all of my social medias fine-tuned to just horse ads. It's not because I'm shopping. It's just because I don't want to deal with all of the drama and the, don't ask questions, but send your prayers. And I'm like, I'm not going to send you my prayers unless I know that you
I don't know you.
I need to know what's going on.
Right? But show me a horse you want to sell just so that I can look at them all fit for sale and how pretty they are.
And I'll judge him.
And I will judge him, and I'll judge the bloodlines and think, I wouldn't pay that much money.
you should.
Or
Wish
you
I
need to
had that
ask
much
them,
money.
Right? Or you should be asking a lot more for that horse.
This is a steal.
Right? Right? And God, I wish I had that much money. So we're at the Van Orman sale one year, and Linda Bunch had this gorgeous gray stud colt. I mean, he was beautiful, and his name was 50 Shades of Gray, and he was gray, and I was in love. And I turned to Travis and I said, come with me and look at this colt. He is gorgeous. And Travis is the kind of guy, like, if you don't have money in your pocket and you're not shopping for something,
You're not looking.
And
Not even window shopping.
no, we're all business. And he made some snarky remark and walked away. And I was like, you jerk. And I was put off. And about that time, my dad comes walking over and he goes, well, what are we looking at? And I'm like, well, I'm looking at everything, but there is a really pretty colt over here. You want to come and look at it? And the thing about my dad is he's this huge enabler. And he goes, yeah, let's go check it out.
I love a good enabler.
Right? And so we walk over there and he goes, this is a really nice colt. I like this colt. Are you going to bid on it? And I said, well, I'd really like to, but he's probably going to go a lot higher than I want to go. well, I'll partner with you. And I was like, really?
In that case, I'm in.
And he goes, well, how much money you got? And I said, well, I could go 1,000. He goes, well, I'll go 1,000 with you. Let's bid on him. I was like, awesome, I'll go get a number. And Travis was so mad, he wouldn't even talk to me. Like, he was so mad. He didn't even want to sit with me in the grandstands, wouldn't have anything to do with me. Right? And he, he was mad. So we're sitting there, and Dad and I are, like, waiting and waiting and waiting. And our horse comes, and he goes for $2,800. And we're like, well, that's not going to work. And I was like, dang it. And my dad goes, well, what are we going to bid on next?
We got $2,000 to spend.
He's like, we've got the money. And so we just start bidding on every gray colt that comes through the sale. Mm-hmm. And we're not having any luck. And my cousin was getting married that day. And my dad's like, well, I got to leave and go to your cousin's wedding. Are you coming?
You couldn't miss the wedding.
Well, he couldn't, but I could.
Yeah.
And so he goes, well, let me know what we bought. Do you want me to leave my checkbook? And I said, no, I'll write a check. I'll just let you know what you owe me. Mm-hmm. And so finally this little gray colt comes through the sale, and I get him bought. And I think I spent like $22 on him. And Travis
over budget. Barely. That's still within budget.
Right? I thought that was good. That was so good. And so I was like, all right, good. All right. And Travis is still mad. Like, he won't even look at me. And so I go.
Do you have to ride home with Travis that night?
I did. I had to go to a wedding with him. I had to smile. We had to act like we liked each other, and he wouldn't even talk to me. Well, while I'm writing the check, my cousin, Becky, her husband is Raleigh Lyle. And the funny thing is so Becky and Travis went to high school together, the same grade. Raleigh and Travis are cousins. So, like, it's a small world. Raleigh comes over to Travis, and he goes, you guys got the buy of the sale. That's a damn good horse. You need to keep him a stud. You keep him a stud, and I'm going to bring you mares, because that's a damn good horse. He doesn't look it right now, but trust me, you keep him a stud. And all I wanted was a gelding, because Travis is always like, you and your damn mares, you just need a gelding, because I'm so tired of your mares in the horse trailer, mad and kicking. And
you're going to prove him wrong with that $2,000.
Right? And so I was like, okay, I'm just going to buy a gelding then I'll have a nice gelding to ride.
Little handsome gray gelding.
Yeah, well, here comes Raleigh, and all of a sudden, Travis is happy. And he's like,
I'm a new proud owner of a stallion.
He's like, hey, we've got a breeding program. You've got all these mares. Raleigh says this is a good horse.
It's okay, because Raleigh said so. You can talk now.
Yeah, all of a sudden he's happy. And I was like, okay.
That's damn good.
You're welcome.
Right? Yeah. Right?
I know.
And we've been so lucky. Like, Pistol is a sweetheart. He is just the kindest, most willingest, just bestest.
This was at the beginning of the marriage.
Well, so let's see. He's
might have been midway.
No,
right?
Kind of in the middle, because he's about 13.
13.
Now.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
And so all of a sudden, like, he's like, this might not be.
So that's what started it all.
Yeah, that was the beginning of our breeding program. And, we laugh because he came from Corey Shellman.
Mm-hmm.
He is out of a Doctari bred mare, and Corey's old stud, DW Hebio played gun. And so here, Pistol was like 3, maybe 4 years old. And we keep him in a pen by the barn by himself just because his favorite game is keeping all of the geldings run off the water trough because they have to share a trough. And I'm in the kitchen, and I'm getting dinner ready or something, and my boys are little. And they come in, and I'm like, what are you guys doing? Where have you been? Because we have free-range children that are feral. And I say, go outside, and I don't see them for hours.
Mm-hmm.
And then they come in, and they're like, oh, we've just been riding Pistol. No, you haven't, because they're not always honest. And they like to pull my leg. And they're like, no,
get your
Mom.
blood pressure up.
Yeah. Right? They try. And I don't believe them.
Not this time.
Yeah. No, you haven't. What have you been doing? They're like, no, really, Mom. Pistol, when we go out there, he comes to the fence so we can pet him. I'm like, well, yeah, that sounds right. They go, and then he turns sideways so that we can go on his back. And then we ride him around the pen. And I'm like, guys. I count to 10.
Yeah.
I know he's a sweetheart, but guys, his favorite game is running the geldings off the water trough. So what do you do if he makes around the geldings? Oh, he'd never do that with us on his back.
You don't know Pistol like we do.
Mom.
Right. And I honestly don't think that Pistol would have done that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But we finally told him, please don't do that.
Yeah.
Please.
So did you ever witness it?
I never did,
Oh,
but I
thank
know
God,
that they
'cause you
would.
would have had a heart
I
attack.
would have had a heart attack. I would have just stressed out. But about that same time, we had taken Pistol up to my cousin's to brand calves.
Mm-hmm.
And my cousin's Mike Bipum, and he had a lot of horses in training, and they were all lined up in pens along the side of the arena where we were branding, and they were all mares, and they were all horsing. And Travis goes, let's put Trent on Pistol just to see what he'll do.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh, what could go wrong? All these mares right here are horsing, and Trent's 6. What could go wrong?
Yes,
And
dear.
So we put him on, and I have video, and I've shared it on my Facebook page. Pistol goes up there, and Trent's just spinning him nice and slow, and you can hear Pistol nickering to the mares, and that's all he would do with Trent up there on his back.
Yeah.
Sweet boy.
So, yeah.
He won your heart over.
Yeah. He's won mine over.
Oh,
he's
my
come to our
goodness.
brandings. He is a dream to be around.
What a
He
good
is truly
boy.
just
He
wonderful.
really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
He's a
we
good
are,
boy.
like, we're one of the few, I feel like, mare people.
Oh, I love my
Yeah.
mares. I
Yeah.
absolutely
My
love them.
husband is in on the mare deal. He is
Yeah.
one of the few cowboys that's like, mares are cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And
And
Travis will
we've
ride
been
them too.
around. We've
Yeah.
been around Pistol with, and our
Yeah.
mares are real nasty. And he's just such a good boy.
Oh, he
with
minds his manners.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he
yeah.
is a
He's
good
She's
boy.
cute, but I'm not looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Side
Or
eye.
he'll
I might
look
whistle a
and
little.
he'll nicker out the corner of his ear.
But he
And
does not make a move. He's
Yeah.
a good boy.
Yeah.
And I laugh because, so, like, every single time I've been, like, bucked off or in a horse wreck, the first horse that I ride afterwards has always been Pistol. And he's
confidence.
so,
He's your boy.
he's just a sweetheart. And I laugh because, like, cold mornings, when he's feeling really fresh, he wants to be a little tight. And the joke is, if his ears touch, he's gonna buck.
You know.
Yeah.
And,
He's honest about it. Like, he tells you.
Watch out.
but he only does it with Travis.
Mhm.
And so,
Good, because he knew.
well,
Yeah.
he knows. And so I had sprained my ankle really bad. And it was just getting healed up. And we went up to my sister's to brand in the fall. And he, so I get on him and I have to use the side of the trailer. And he's like, this is so undignified.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know, Pistol, I'm embarrassed too.
Yeah.
But I get on him and he keeps looking back. Like you can feel he's tight. Like he's just like this tight muscle mass. And that ear keeps coming back. And he goes, that's not Travis. I really want to do something. That's not Travis. Yeah. Yeah. And he would not take a bad step. He would not do a single thing. And he just finally like got it out of his system. He's like, well, it's not Travis. So I guess
I'll
won't
take
do
care of
it.
you.
Yeah. No,
Oh,
he's
what
a
a
sweetheart.
good boy.
It was really nice of your boys to teach him to
Yes.
side
Yeah.
pass to the trailer for you to get
Yes.
on.
That's, some days there are not a lot of perks to having kids. But then other times, like, those little habits.
There is a
that
silver
you-
lining in it.
Yes. Sometimes there are. Yep.
Little
my
bush trainers.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that was the start of our breeding program. And, like, my goal has been this whole time is to breed mares that Travis and I have rode and are mares that we like. Like, they might not be like the current, like, hot new papers, but I can say, this mare right here has old school, like, Poco Bueno papers, but
Can't
this
go
is what
wrong.
she is, and this is what her colts are going to be like. And I
That
can
needs
tell
to
you
live
this.
on.
Yeah,
Mare
because this
power.
is what I've had her since she was a baby, and this is what I've done with her, and this is why I like her.
Mhm.
And so that's what we're trying to breed.
Yeah, stuff that you would want to ride.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
it makes it hard to let those go.
Well,
Yeah.
that's exactly it.
She's not for sale.
Oh, yeah.
He's not for sale either.
Yeah.
I know. Dr. Barnes came out to do some Coggins for us, and he was doing a Coggins on my black mare, Jimmy, and he goes, you've really got to stop falling in love with each one of them.
Yeah.
I'm like, Travis keeps saying that, but
None of them have
You
for
heard
sale
it.
tags on
Yeah.
them. Sorry.
yeah. Finally had to tell him, well, if they get into the bridle, they just can't leave.
Yeah.
So,
So do you start them all
on your own? You and Travis, and the
yeah,
boys.
most of them. We sell some as weanlings, but we ride just about all of them. Travis, we make the boys put like 5 to 10 rides on them as 18 months old, long yearlings. And then we just kind of turn them loose, let them just grow up a little bit more until they're 2. And
They
then
take the bounce easier.
Yeah.
In case you get bucked off.
Well, that
Your
and
boys?
the boys, yes.
Yeah.
But they're easier to manhandle when they're that size, too.
Mhm.
You still kind of have the bluff on them, and you can talk them out of doing a lot of dumb stuff.
Yeah.
So,
It's nice to have your kids for that, too.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
As soon as they can open gates
Mhm.
and get on colts.
This is kind of handy.
Yeah.
I didn't have these boys for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, as like an outsider looking in on your breeding program, I really admire, especially your mares that you pick, because I kind of learned that lesson the hard way. The mare matters.
Mhm.
So the mare is a huge contributing factor for the disposition of the colts.
Yep.
All of the ones that we bred, like, they were kind of little copies of the mare. And maybe that's different with different stallions for what you're breeding, but I definitely notice it with ours. And so with yours, all your mares are wonderful. I'm like, oh, okay, there's a reason. And that's something to just kind of like brag on your program a little bit, because you do spend, your mares are great.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Anyways, I just want to say that little tidbit. Something I've observed, because, they are really wonderful.
Yep. Well, the majority of the mares in our program have been mares that I've rode.
And then you rope on, you do a little bit of everything. You did a gymkhana.
I did a gymkhana. I had flags on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do whatever we can on them.
Yeah.
So do you have any for sale today?
We have one consigned to the Shellman sale, a 2-year-old. Travis will tell you everything's for sale, but then I'm like, no, we're no.
Well.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Talk to me first.
Yeah. My problem is I price everything high, and Travis is like, oh, you like that one? $1,000. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Do you know how much time I put into that one?
Are you kidding me? Our set fee's that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I've kept it alive for 2 years.
Yeah.
I love to hear the marriage, like the bickering and the husband and wife. And let's get rid of it. I want to keep it.
Yeah.
That's what makes it go round.
Yeah. Now I have a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old out of my Dunmare Scotch, and Travis is like, well, we don't need both of them. I'm like, well, I kind of thought we'd start both of them and see which one we like the best and sell the other one.
Or you can keep them both.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like, I love their mom. Couldn't I keep them both?
I'm a great enabler like your dad.
Right, yeah. We need to hang out more.
Yes. Yeah. The Shellman sale's coming up soon.
Yes, it's in June. It's the weekend of the 13th and 14th.
Mm-hmm. So who will ride?
Well, Travis is trying to talk Trent into it, but I don't know if Trent will, so probably Travis.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
But you guys will all go together as a family?
Yeah.
Where's that one at?
It's in, I think, Ventura. We've never been to it before. We had talked to Corey about it last fall, and we'd had 2 horses at the time, and then we had sold them in the meantime and hadn't put any more thought into it. And then he called us 2 weeks ago and said, hey, I have some spots open up if you can get your paperwork in. And the catalog came out yesterday.
Yeah.
So, I'm like, oh, yeah.
Add us to it.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, absolutely.
You can always add online, right? You missed on the catalog?
I think so. I don't know for sure how that works, but I was able to get all of our stuff in, so our stuff is in the catalog.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. But it was pretty
Close.
rapid. Yeah. I was like, we've got 2-year-olds and we've got some mares, and Corey's like, yeah, mares don't do very well.
And it's still winter. Everything's fuzzy.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. And we don't start foaling until May, and so all of our stuff is really young.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yep.
Hopefully people will pay attention to what's been coming out of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So hopefully it'll do well.
Yeah.
And so that sale, it's mostly ranch horses?
Yep. It's ranch horses. And it's kind of a cool sale from what I understand, because they like brand calves the day before as part of the preview.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
That's
it's
so
like
good.
a ranch horse sale.
Mhm.
So
Good.
yeah. Yeah. So we're hoping that it will be a good fit for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll look at that because we've got some friends who are, corrupting
and then getting back into it. So.
Oh, yeah.
Sadie will look at it too and turn one of those ranch horses into a barrel horse.
Oh, yeah. What do you got?
Gotta
here?
watch out.
Well, they're all athletic.
Some of those ranch horses kind of like running barrels. It's a lot easier than roping 800 yearlings. You mean all I'd have to do is go run around some barrels?
3 turns?
That's not hard.
I'll try my best.
Yeah.
I don't have to rope anything.
20 minutes of work.
I'm in. Sign me up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Well, you have I guess it's more of a team roping kind of thing, but I saw your little jalapeno popper,
Oh, yes.
and he went branding, right? For
He
the
did,
first time.
yes.
Is that the name?
His name's jalapeno.
Well, that's his
my
bar name.
gosh,
His
that's
his
cute.
name is TQ Dash and Flit. He is out of a fire, water, flit.
That's my jam.
His name, actually, his
He's
dad's name
adorable.
is Who Gives a Bug and Flit, which I just think is hilarious.
But the barn name. That's
Yeah.
so cute.
Yeah. Well, his dad's bar name is Chili. And so I was like, well, we have to go with a pepper name. And so he's Jalapeno Popper.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he is such a fun little horse.
He's super cute. Well, he's a sorrel with blaze, which is kind of my type.
Well,
So,
flashy.
yeah. We love the red horses.
Yeah.
So,
And those firewater flits are surprisingly cowy.
Yes.
They're really,
Yes.
I
So
love
his
mine.
dad started out as a barrel horse. And for some reason, they started team roping on him. And he is doing amazing things. Like he's heading. So the gal who's riding him took him to some like ultimate cowgirl challenge and ended up reserve champion because you could use more than one horse.
Mhm.
But she won the barrels and heading and breakaway. And then the gal who won it used a different horse in every event.
That's
Oh.
And that's how she ended up reserve, was because
She should have read the same
she
horse.
used the same one for every.
right, yeah,
Yeah.
like that should have given her bonus points. But
Mhm.
yeah, he just
That's so
loves
cool.
roping.
They're
So, yeah.
athletic.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the mare that he's out of was one that came from Jeannie King.
Mhm.
And I always laugh because Jeannie always would tell me, like, I don't know why you like that mare so much. I hated her mom.
Yeah.
She's really honest.
Well, she is. She's
going
really
to tell you
honest.
how it is.
And I love it. But
Yes.
we love that mare.
Oh.
Like, you had to keep a cow in front of her
Mhm.
because she was so ADD that she would be, like, looking over
Squirrel.
here. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
she couldn't focus unless there was a cow in front of her. But she's one of the cowiest horses that we've ever had. And she absolutely loved Trent. Like, Trent could get her to ride onto the top of your house. Like, all he had to do was ask, and she would be right
She's a
there.
pleaser.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, for Trent.
Just for him.
When I wanted to ride her, Trent would have to catch her because she would see me coming, and she was like,
No thanks.
You're
Not
not
today.
no, thank you. You're going to make me do everything correct. Trent lets me do things how I want. I love Trent.
They're so smart.
Right?
Yeah.
And this popper colt, when we started him, was like, I don't know what you want me to do, but I like you, Trent, so I'm going to try to do things for you.
Mama.
And when Trent went back to school, Travis is like, oh, I'm just going to keep messing with him a little bit. And he wouldn't stand for Trent to get on, or for Travis, and like would kind of hump up with Travis. And we're like, he's not going to be for you, Travis. He loves Trent.
Apparently he's Trent.
He's just like his mom. He loves Trent.
That's so great.
They pick one and love that one.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
You are none.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Genetics.
He's pretty cute. I like that little popper.
He's pretty.
So let's go. We'll shift gears a little bit. You were training up on your photography.
Yep.
Are you still doing that?
So I took a Be a Maker class for equine photography, and I'm still doing a lot of horse pictures and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm starting to
Did you
do a
know?
little more portrait photography.
Mhm.
So yeah, so I'm doing some family pictures. I've done some senior pictures, but what I really like to do is like horse sale photos and equine photography type things like that. In a perfect world, I would be doing like family photography with horses and
Mhm.
things like that in the pictures.
So no action yet? Like, would you come to a branding?
Oh yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
She was at ours.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
I
took
did.
pictures.
Yeah, I did. I haven't done anything with them.
Oh,
And then, I
sorry,
was at
I
a
didn't
branding.
know that yet.
And I was at a branding in Idaho this weekend that I took some pictures too. So
I always
Yeah.
have a dream of making family photos coming alive in like black and white
oh
that
yeah.
you would see somewhere like the Hobby Lobby or something,
Yeah.
you know,
yeah.
like the roping
Yeah.
and the cowboys, but actually
Mhm.
people you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
calves you own.
Yeah.
Get a hold of you probably.
Yep.
Be fun.
No, I do a lot of that. I do a lot of that for Maggie Crick where we work. But
Yeah.
That's really nice too because you understand that animals are not the easiest subjects and you
Yes.
have patience
and
with them.
she's a roper, so you understand the roping.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And like, with, like, I do a lot of my family. And so, like, I know, like, 20 years with Travis, like, I know just from watching him swing, like, when he's
you're not going to catch.
Yeah. and that too.
And good timing for, like, when the loop's going to look good in the photo.
Yes. You could be so in on that.
Well, and I get really particular, and I don't like pictures where the horse's mouth is wide open, or
gaping,
or when the kids get to yanking too much and the horse's head isn't, and so
you don't really want that on your wall.
Yeah. Well, no, and that's exactly it. Mm-hmm. So but I do a lot of that kind of photography.
Well, I'm excited about this.
I know. See, are you? Yep. I think we needed like a little more in our area for that. Mm-hmm. So there's definitely
there isn't much. So, there's a lot of family people, but not the action. Can we hire you for a branding for 4 hours or 2 hours?
Or understanding what it's like to take family pictures with horses and dogs.
It's going to be dusty and loud.
Or make the horse look good.
Or even just to know where to be so that you're not in the way or causing wrecks. Or
that's so cool.
Yeah, that's a fun fact. I like that.
I'm the girl that's always in the way, so.
Well,
Guy says, get out of the way! I'm still in the way?
Yeah, what do you mean? You just shuffle 2 inches left.
Right? Legs forward, back, still in the way?
Yeah. Oh, man. So, you do your photography, but you also are a writer. Yep. You've been doing that for how many years now? It's been a while.
Oh, gosh. So, I think I've been with the Nevada Rancher like 8 or 9 years. And then I was with the Progressive Rancher for like 2 years before that. And then I had a blog before that. And that's how I actually kind of got into the writing. And it was, I used to, like, all through college, I journaled. And even after I got married, I journaled. And so then, like, when the boys were little, like, blogging was, like, the big thing. And so I had started a blog, and I would share it on Facebook. And people were like, you need to do this for, like, a publication. And so they sent it to Leanna Carey. And so she started paying me to do a feature for the Progressive Rancher. And that's how I started. And then when Jolynn Young moved, because she was the staff writer for the Nevada Rancher, she called me and she goes, you need to take my job. And that's how I started writing for the Nevada Rancher. And it's funny because, like, I have no, like, journalism background. I never even took a writing class in college. I took a poetry writing class, and that was it.
Huh.
And so, and so then all of a sudden I was thrown into the deep end, and I'm like, I don't really know how to do this.
Yeah, because I want to say, like, 9 or 10 years ago when, was it the Humboldt that was flooding everywhere in Battle Mountain?
Yeah.
And there were some bulls stranded, and Johnny was dropping those bales.
Yeah.
And he had some pictures.
Yeah,
was
that long ago?
Yeah, that was probably 10 years ago when he started.
That was quite a while ago.
Oh, okay.
That's cool. Yeah.
Huh. I remember
they were stranded on, like, a tiny little island.
Yeah. I remember it being a thing. They were having to fly hay and stuff.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was quite a while ago. So that was like 8 or 9 years ago, 10 years ago. Yeah.
I want to say closer to 10.
Yeah.
Oh, around that, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it was quite a while ago.
You blink, just like we talked about. Time's gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So how often do you have to submit your
monthly?
So it is a monthly.
Oh, that takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. And so it's a huge commitment. And so trying to juggle the ranch, our own little horse business, and our cows, and the Nevada Rancher, it's
mom and kids and wife. It doesn't stop.
The boys are pretty self-sufficient at this point.
Yeah.
So that helps a lot. Yeah.
And they're such good boys.
They are. I'm really lucky.
You guys did a good job.
Yeah.
They are really sweet, very kind.
Yeah.
They're funny.
Oh my gosh.
I love taking on them when they're helping Sadie. They're so sweet.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. No, I'm really proud of them. They are really good kids. Like, I don't know how they turned out so good. We laugh, Travis and I laugh, because, like, they don't party. Like, they're really good kids. And Travis and I laugh because we're like, when we were that age, we weren't that good.
We weren't dumb. Yeah. You need to write a book, Jennifer.
Yeah. My joke has always been they're raising themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, they really are.
Kick them outside, ride a horse.
Yeah.
Even a stud.
Just go outside.
Yeah.
Just go do something. Yeah. Don't kill yourself or each other.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be said about that, kicking them out.
Yeah. We were really picky with the kids that they hung out with.
Yeah.
They're always like, well, can so-and-so come over? Because so-and-so come over. And we're like, they can't. We don't know their parents.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's okay. You don't have to know them. It's like, well, yeah, actually we do, because we're going to send you outside.
Mm-hmm.
And
They need to understand the dangers of.
And we need to know that their parents aren't going to sue us if they break a limb, because you guys are out doing sketchy stuff.
Yeah.
We're not watching you, you know?
Yeah. The last branding we were at, all the kids are running around, and then they're like, Tia Chachi, can we go to the sand pile? And I was like, yes. But if you babies leave that sand pile, you need to come check in with me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Tia, we'll be back. And so then my friend brought her family. They haven't been around like the branding and stuff that much. And so she went to go get her kids from the sand pile because they didn't leave. They hadn't checked in. They didn't leave. And they go to the sand pile, and she's like, oh, are you guys good? And they're like, yep, we have to check in with Tia Chachi if we leave. And she's like, oh, good job, guys. Yeah, that's the rule.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go, you want to see something dangerous?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you there that year? We had all those kids show up to our branding. We had this pile of kids. There was so many of them. We had no control. And one little boy, he kept wanting to ride all the calves. And finally, we're like, you can't ride every single one of them. Like, anyways, he kept getting in the middle. And I just remember this image of someone had headed this calf, and it was like at the end of the rope just swinging, and this little boy were like, run, and thank God he listened and didn't look back, because it was like on his heels, that rope was about to catch him, and I was like, what is happening?
That's so stressful.
It was so stressful.
Yeah, so stressful.
Everybody survived.
Yeah.
But now, like, I yell at kids now.
But looking
like,
back, you're like, never again. Never
yeah,
again.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like, you guys, you stay right by my side. You don't go out there on your own. You don't just wander around willy-nilly.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was, we had a pile of kids. It was so many that year.
Oh, man.
That's the thing about ranching and this community horses and stuff. Like,
Mhm.
you can yell at anyone's kids. It's like a team effort to...
Yes.
Yeah. I've told you before, establish dominance quickly.
Yes.
Mine.
That's what I said too tonight.
Yeah.
I do let Sadie's boys bully me because they're so cute.
Oh, right. Yeah.
He's beating her in the face, and she's like, this is fine. I'm like, hit him. Don't
Right.
hit him back.
Maybe when he was a little older. He's
Yeah.
so cute.
Yeah, you'll get him back. You'll remember it. Like, every black eye I'll remember.
Right. Yeah.
So, Jen, let's circle back a little bit, because your family has been in Mountain City for a very long time.
yeah.
And like you said, they homesteaded one of the original places you were at a cow camp at, right?
Yep.
So can we talk about a little bit of your family history and kind of how they got started in the area?
Yeah. So I think it was my great-great-grandma actually came, I think, from like California on a stagecoach and ended up at Reed Station in Tuscarora, which is where Bill and Jerry Van Norman lived.
Oh,
Where Jerry Van Norman lives now. And then she somehow ended up on Trail Creek, which is Maggie's Summit. And she married an Erland, and they lived at the head of Trail Creek, which is now the Morse Ranch, where my cousin Ray Morse lives.
Okay. Do we know what brought her, or she just was?
She was an orphan, I think. She and her brother ended up coming out, and she had an uncle that was running the stage stop, if I remember correctly. And I could be really wrong.
Oh, okay.
But the uncle was running the stage stop, I think, there at Reed Station, because that was a stage stop. And she married an Erland and lived there at the Morse Ranch. And her daughter Mabel is my great grandma, and she married Hugh Buroff, and Hugh's parents homesteaded McDonald Creek.
Okay.
So cool. And so then in the 30s, like the late 30s, they bought the Buroff Ranch, which is the ranch that my mom and dad have. And my dad worked for my great grandma, and then ended up buying into the ranch, and was a half owner when my great grandma died when I was in the 8th grade.
Okay.
And then bought that from the heirs. And she had divided up her half between her daughter and all of her grandchildren. Okay. And so my dad bought that. My mom and dad bought that from my great grandma. But the other side of my dad's family, so my dad's name was George, and his mom was Ada Rose. Ada Rose's parents were, well, her mom was Rosella and her stepdad was Riley. Rosella is a Tyndall, and she actually ranched at Wickahoney, which is by Grassmere, which is also owned by Simplot at this point. But Rosella, her older brother, Alvin, died when they were fairly young. Like, she was, like, 17 or 18, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And her dad ended up hanging himself in Bruno because he couldn't get a loan from the bank, and it was a really harsh winter, and he was out of feed, and he couldn't feed his cows. And her mom was kind of a hard woman. She felt like since her son and her husband were both dead, she had nothing to live for.
Mm-hmm.
So she took rat poison.
Oh, wow.
And killed herself. But it took a while to die. It took her like over a week to die. Meanwhile, my grandma Rosella is recently divorced and has a 2-year-old daughter. And so she inherits Wickahoney. And this is like early 1930s. And ended up running that ranch by herself as a young single woman.
What a woman.
Yeah,
Give me chills just reading about it, right?
Yeah, she's amazing. She was an amazing woman. And she ended up marrying Riley Chambers, who actually came from Missouri, had moved to Canada and then back to Missouri, and swears he knew, an outlaw, Jesse James.
Okay.
But supposedly Jesse James was dead before he was born. So all those conspiracies,
Jesse James Jr.
So all those conspiracies about Jesse James not being dead when he was supposed to be, I believe, because my great grandpa swears he knew him and says that he was a good guy.
Okay.
So there's that. So there's that.
I believe that
anyway,
too.
Yeah.
Anyway, they ended up selling Wickahoney, and they bought a place in Ruby Valley, and then decided they didn't like that, and then bought the 101 Ranch in Mountain City. And, which, the Moree family owned before they sold it. And so I grew up with the Morees in Mountain City. But anyway, my grandpa George was 8 years older than my grandma, Ada Rose. And he fought in World War II. And when he came back, he was really good friends with my great grandpa Riley. And he would come over and ride colts with him all the time. And my grandma Ada Rose, who is one of my heroes, she was just one of the most wonderful women in the world, told me one time, she goes, "You and your dad and your grandpa George have never met a horse that you didn't like. And George could make any horse in the world gentle." So anyway, she met George when he came back from World War II and when he was riding colts with my great grandpa. And so then they got married, and it was really kind of a rough marriage because, World War II, it was really hard, and he saw some pretty atrocious things while he was overseas. And he ended up dying when my dad was like a senior in high school. But, so that was kind of like my family's history. But my great-grandparents, the B. Roths, brought the first Angus cattle to Elko County. And so that's kind of like our little claim to fame. But yeah, my dad started AIing cows when I was just a baby. So he's been AIing cattle for 46 years now. And, and so he sells bulls and, he just has a great herd of Angus cows and loves horses and yeah. And so that's kind of like our family history in a nutshell.
Do your brother and sister still live out the Mountain City Ranch?
So my brother is on the ranch with my mom and dad. He trains and shows reined cow horse and helps on the ranch. And then my sister and her husband Wade, they bought the Boddington Ranch, which is now the BS Ranch, which is a couple miles up the road from my mom and dad.
Oh, so they're neighbors.
Yes, and they also own the Sandhill Feedlot in Winnemucca. And they raise and sell Charolais bulls. And so they run their cows in Paradise Valley all winter long, and then they bring the cows back to Mountain City this time of year to calve. And they'll start calving in the fall, and then they'll bring them back to Winnemucca in the winter.
Because right now it's gorgeous at Mountain City.
It is. It is so pretty right now.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so all of my family, it's funny, like my mom and dad sent all of us to college. My sister has a degree in journalism and photography, so she should be the writer. My brother, I'm not really sure what his degree is, but he's way smarter than any of the rest of us. And then I have a teaching certificate, and all we do is look at cows all day.
Yeah.
Ride horses. Yeah.
It's in the blood.
Yeah. Yep, it is. My parents wanted us to go out in the world and do all these great things, and all we want to do is ranch.
Yes.
So,
But you guys are doing great things.
well,
It's really cool.
thank you.
Yes.
I hope we are.
So when they brought the first Angus, was it mostly Hereford, right? In the area?
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what everybody was running
Yeah.
around here.
Everybody had Herefords,
Mhm.
and my grandma and grandpa, they decided they liked Angus, and so they brought him in. And then the other thing about it being a super small world, anytime they had a red calf or a red heifer, they would sell it to Jack and Irene Walther, which they lived just down the road from us until they passed away.
Mhm.
Yeah, so yeah, it's funny
It's
what a
easy
small
to keep
world
track
is.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, speaking of Beef Advocate, that's you.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Beef Advocate of the Year.
Oh, thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was quite an honor.
Yeah.
How, do you know how you got nominated for that? Like how that became a thing?
I
Just
have
total
no
surprise?
idea. It was a total surprise. I was not expecting that at all.
I think that's such a cool thing about social media is
Mm-hmm.
you don't even know like you're doing anything.
Yeah.
But people are paying attention and you're
Yeah.
influencing so many people.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah. You know, I've always been really proud of my ranching heritage, and I feel like it's so important that people know where their food is coming from and how they're getting it. And I love my cows.
Yeah.
I really do. And I just feel like, you know, we're so fortunate to live where we live and to be able to do the things that we do that I'm constantly snapping pictures and sharing them on social media, you know, just because I can. And so to be recognized for that is really an honor.
Mm-hmm.
I love that for you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Thank
We're
you.
proud to know you.
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you.
We've got her coming on a podcast.
On Saturday Morning Podcast.
Anything else? I know you've done your cinch making.
Mhm.
Are you still
Yeah.
doing cinches?
Not as much as I used to. You know, when when the boys were little, I used to tie a lot of cinches, but I was in a car accident with my youngest son. We were pulling a horse trailer through the Carlin tunnels, and we were rear-ended. Well, actually, we rear-ended a semi because they just stopped in the freeway right in front of us. And we had 6 horses on the horse trailer, and it took the trailer off the ball and into the back of the pickup, and I ended up with a bad concussion. And it just messed with my head just enough that it made tying cinches unpleasant. So anyway, I used to tie a cinch a day, and after that, it was a real struggle to
Oh,
me.
you used to be able to make one in one day?
Oh, like an hour.
Wow.
And so I would tie one a day. When I would put the boys down for a nap, I'd tie
That's
a cinch.
fast.
Well, you should know that is just extra talented.
Yeah.
Buy it or leave
I've
it.
got one.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Use it all the time.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah. I've been dying for like one of those breast collars, but I just can't think of any colors that I want.
That's
I
me
can't
too.
make a decision on the colors.
That's
the
me too. I have the rings. I even got like fancy rings to do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just can't commit to a color scheme.
That's exactly.
I
I
just
want
want
one so bad, and I just don't know
City
what colors to
leopard
do.
matches everything.
This is true. This is true.
The coffee cup.
You can't go
Yeah.
wrong with
Yeah.
tan and black.
Yeah, that's true. Have you done leopard?
No, but I think I could.
Okay,
That's
interesting.
There's nothing she can't do.
Yeah, I know.
There's a lot I
done.
can't do.
I don't know, Jen. You've done a lot. Rider, horse breeder, cow raiser, roper.
Well, I started tying cinches when we were in cow camp because
You forgot the cow camper lady.
The cow camper.
well, I didn't have electricity, and we would get
And no
done-
water.
Well, no running water, and we would get done, you know, like 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'd read like every book in camp twice, and I was like, I can't drink beer with you guys because it just makes me mean and want to fight.
Yeah.
And I need a hobby, and I used to quilt. Like I used to really enjoy that, but no electricity.
Yeah.
And so, like, I need a hobby that doesn't require electricity. And you don't, you know, something mindless that I can sit here and watch you guys drink and get drunk and laugh and not have to think about what I'm doing. So I started tying cinches.
And you know you're going to feel good in the morning.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I'd still be able to get up in the morning and
I'm
do
going
my
to sell a
job.
cinch and feel good.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm going to jack the price up for your friends because they're being stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Get some good trades out of it.
We used to sell my cinches in the bar in Bruno. And it was just to pay Travis's bar tab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a good wife.
I would take a handful of cinches down to the bar and he'd be like, well, let's just go and see if you've sold anything. And then we'd stay there till they shut it down, and they'd be like, well, good news is you sold something, but you still owe $20 on top of that. I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Best wife ever.
Right?
Yes.
So,
Cowboy wife romance.
Yes.
I know, right?
Should write a book.
It's a good thing I love him.
So where did you end up meeting Travis?
So the first time we met was at the Elko County Fair.
And he kept taking a right instead of a left, remember?
Exactly. And so then the second time, my cousin Brooke was getting married in Bruno. And so my sister and I went to her wedding, and we're dancing, and there's this guy dancing with us, and Kara goes, hey, Travis, have you met Jennifer? And I look at him, and I'm like, I know you, Travis. I met you in Elko. And
That was it.
that was happy ever after. And here we are. Yeah. And we stayed out way too late because we had to drive back home so we could chip cabs in the morning.
Uh-huh.
And the funny thing was Travis is like, can I get your number? And I'm like, well, do you have a Mountain City Grandview phone book? Because for our phone,
book.
it was like this big,
It's like a
and
pamphlet.
it had a Whiteley, Mountain City, Grandview, and Bruno.
Uh-huh.
All four in this little tiny, it had like 10 pages in it. And he goes, yeah, I do. I said, well, I'm in the phone book.
I love this.
Right? And so
You can't have my number, but look me up.
Yeah.
I'm
you
like,
don't
I'm
find
in the
me.
phone book. I mean, he didn't have a pen, and neither did I. I didn't even have pockets. I was wearing a
Yeah.
dress, believe it or not.
I was going to say Rockies, but
No Rockies.
And those had front pockets. Oh, no, they didn't.
No, I was wearing a dress. If not, I'd have been 20X, because this was after Rockies. I'm not that old.
Well,
We're not aging you, Jennifer.
no, they're making a comeback.
They are now, right?
No, they really are. They're expensive.
I know.
Like,
I
you
wish I
find those
still
on a
had some.
vintage website, you could sell them
Yeah.
for like $110.
Yeah.
Easily.
Well, I waited for like a week, and he never called me. And so I'd gone up to my mom and dad's, and I was just walking through the house because I got there and I was going to go ride my colt, and I'd stopped to get a drink of water, and I'm walking through the house, and the phone rings. And I'm like, it's home. So I pick up the phone, and he goes, it's about time you answer your phone. And I'm like, this isn't my phone. This is my mom and dad's.
so yeah.
And he goes, well, don't you live at your mom and dad's? I said, no. And he goes, you told me you're in the phone book. I said, yeah, under J. B. Roth. And he goes, I didn't even think about that. Do you think I would have my full name in the phone book? I'm a teacher.
Yeah.
So he was calling your mom's house for a week and mom and dad's.
Yeah, and he wouldn't even leave a message.
No.
I'm like, you could have left a message and they'd have given it to me. I didn't think about that. So yeah, it almost didn't happen.
Cute.
So, yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So romantic.
Yeah.
I love these stories. I wish those days still were present, like for Lexi
Right?
and Kaylee and everybody.
Yeah. I know. I think
Phone
about
book.
my boys, and I think, how are you guys going to meet a girl?
Yes.
Because I don't want you swiping
I wish
left
they could
or-
look
Yeah.
their girl up in a phone
Yeah.
book.
Put a little
Yeah.
effort in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Call them for a week.
Yeah.
Hey,
Just imagine when Sadie's boys are your age.
Don't ask for a snap. There's
No.
nothing romantic about that.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kids.
I know.
Romance. Well,
Romance is
Throw it out the
Yeah.
window. It's gone.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why we need you, Jennifer, to talk about phone books.
Yeah.
Not dating myself at all.
I mean, they don't even teach kids phone books now in school.
No. No.
No.
No, they wouldn't even know
the
how to use
Carlin
a
phone book's a lot bigger
Look
than that. That
on
makes me
Google.
so proud.
Right.
Thank you, Jennifer,
thank you
for
so
coming
much.
on.
We
Thank you guys.
appreciate
Thank you
you.
for having
Yeah.
me. This has been fun.
Yeah. Super fun.